Hey guys, good morning. JK with Porn Reboot here, on my way back from the gym as usual. Today I want to speak briefly about not being your mind's bitch. And that means the ability to control your biochemistry as a tool for creating the world that you live in. Ideally, you want to create a world where you do not medicate your stress and your anger, your strong emotions, and your loneliness and other things with pornography and masturbation. You want to be able to first develop coping skills and eventually rewire your brain and in the process change your biochemistry to respond in much healthier ways. So I'm going to use meditation as an example of a tool that you can use to change your biochemistry and quit being your mind's little bitch. Now, a lot of people have the misconception that meditation is something exotic or something which is woo-woo and involves a certain amount of spirituality. In recovery and in the Porn Reboot system, I teach men the basics of meditation. And it's not for everybody, but most human beings can meditate, and there are different types of meditation. I'll give you an example. Let's say I have a client who is fine during the week. He doesn't slip, he can spend time with his kids and his wife, and he's not easily frustrated. But every weekend, without fail, he slips. So one of the things that meditation would do for him, and meditation is simply becoming present. And one of the ways you can become present is by observing your breath, observing your breathing, because your breathing is the only thing which is constant in you. Regardless of what happens in your body, you are going to breathe. Involuntarily, you are going to keep breathing. So when you observe that, you're observing something that's constant, and it requires an intense amount of presence, which means that you have to be here in the moment to observe your breath without controlling it. When you are in the moment, you cannot be anywhere else. And using the example of this client, it's Saturday, he gets up in the morning and he does his Porn Reboot's morning routine. He gets up, it's 8 o'clock, and he feels a lot of resistance to waking up. There is something biochemical that is occurring in his body. And what's happening is that his body is rejecting the fact that he is waking up and not doing anything, because his body knows that, hey, on a typical day around this time, I wake up and I get pissed off about my day, or I get upset about the fact that I need to work. So right there at that moment, there's going to be a chemical reaction. So he gets up and let's say he uses the bathroom and he sits down to meditate. He's going to sit down and maybe for the first 30 seconds he observes his breath. But what's going to happen is immediately his mind is going to go somewhere else, because maybe typically at that time, that's the time he gets on Instagram while he's in the bathroom and he's filling his head with dopamine. He's reading the news, he's getting some type of stimuli. Your body wants that stimuli, and you're not giving your body that stimuli that it needs. So it's going to be very uncomfortable to sit there. It's very uncomfortable not because your mind is running all over the place. It's very uncomfortable because your body does not want to be there. Your body is craving something. But through meditation and through mindfulness, you are training your body to stay and remain in the moment. He sits for a little bit. Maybe after 10 minutes, again, the body's like, well, okay, since you're not going to look at Instagram, you're not going to look at this, dude, you should be checking your email. There might be something important there. Again, the craving for a certain biochemical reaction occurs within the body, and the body is craving the feeling of getting into your email and the mystery of what sort of emails you're going to get. It's novelty too. There might be somebody that pisses you off. There might be something from your boss that makes you anxious. Your body is prepared, it is prepped, and it is craving all these different biochemical reactions. And when you sit again and you choose not to engage in those things, what you're doing is you are training the body to be in the moment and not crave those biochemical reactions, okay? The same goes with pornography, the same goes with masturbation. But it starts with the most basic emotions that you are using porn and masturbation to medicate. What you're doing is you're training your body just like a horse or just like a dog. No matter how stubborn it is, it's going to break at some point. It's going to break, and finally it is going to learn that you are the boss, that you control it, and it cannot just simply react to any sort of compulsive behavior. This can be done by anybody. However, one thing that I've noticed is that some men have exposed themselves to modalities of recovery that do not teach them this. They teach them all sorts of things, but they do not let them know that they have the power to train their brain. They have the power to change their biochemical reactions. They have the power to change themselves, in essence. And when the first message you receive, when you seek help for your porn or masturbation addiction, is that you have no power over that, that sticks with you. That stays with you. And then when you're put in a community of other people who have affirmed that they have no power, and other people who say, like, hey, trust us, we have done this for years, and we have recovered because we have no power, that makes you believe that, hey, I am powerless. It is so powerful. I guess that's the way it is. And then you become initiated into those beliefs. That's why some men come to me after they've tried these methods that don't work. They find it so challenging to accept the fact that they can change their biochemistry. And meditation is just one very basic example of how it can be done. In the porn reboot system, there are lots of coping skills that you can learn. There are lots of ways that you can change your biochemistry. There are lots of methods to do that. So a lot of men are just like, oh my God, there's so much resistance to it. And they struggle a lot because their core beliefs that they've been initiated in year after year after year by participating in these other methods is that you have no power. So many things happen to them and they tell me, it's just my anxiety. I can't control it. And the belief needs to change. Not everybody who comes into the porn reboot system is ready for it. Many of them, I tell them, hey man, you're not ready to work with me. If you want to work with me, we are not going to jump straight into the coping skills. It's not going to be as easy as you think it is. We've got to change those unhealthy beliefs about recovery that you have picked up, because they are not serving you anymore. They are holding you back. I'm appalled by the number of therapists that understand the biology of addiction, or at least I think they do, yet they will send men to places where the first thing they tell them is, you have no power over yourself, you're fucked. So accept that you're fucked first of all, and then let's go from there. There's a whole difference between taking responsibility for your addiction and going like, I have no power over it. That is some archaic, outdated bullshit. Yeah, I said it. It's bullshit. And I have seen more men harmed from it than helped. If you want to stop being your mind's little bitch, why would you say something to your mind along the lines of, I'm powerless? It just means like, hey, I have no power, no resistance, I'm your bitch. And then we'll start from there. We'll start from ground zero. That's just stupid. It doesn't make any sense to me. It hasn't made any sense since I walked out of the first group. Alright, so if you like this video and you'd like to learn more about some of the coping skills and the methods that I teach in the porn reboot system, join our Facebook group. There's a link to it in the description below. I'm JK, your brother in this struggle. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video, and I'll see you on the brighter side of this journey. Have a great day.
Easily is through a reboot. Now, what's a reboot? Well, it's rewiring your brain to become a normal human being. You know, getting back what you lost what you gave up during the time you struggled with porn and masturbation. And at Porn Reboot, I believe, and I found great success.
Really good session. Somebody on yesterday's video, which was the video on can I masturbate during my recovery while I'm trying to quit porn, somebody asked, can I have a girlfriend?
Depression. On the other hand, we have a goal, and a goal is a dream with a deadline. That deadline makes it a commitment. This means that it is measurable and you will know when you've achieved your goal. So there's no question about whether or not you've achieved it when you get there. Now, one of the reasons why you are unhappy is because you are basing your journey towards freedom from porn and masturbation on an ideal.